Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. Wow, this is like music to my ears. Now, this is what I'll call poetic justice. Two birds with one stone. Both, getting a taste of reality, and basically, you know what I'm saying. It's sort of like payback for me. I'm kind of smiling and grinning hearing this. Well, it appears uh, Mark Davis and Jerry Jones may receive some bad news at the same time. Well, Mark Davis has already received his bad news at the same time. Now, it appears due to the pandemic, the outbreak of the Razor Ramona. Well, it appears that the Raiders Stadium, Alliance Stadium, will not be completed in time for the Raiders to be able to start their inaugural season in Las Vegas. So it appears that they could possibly be playing in Texas, places like El Paso, possibly the Alamo Dome, you know, basically the current stadium that UNLV plays at. How about this? Why don't you just let the Raiders play in Oakland until the new stadium is completed? How about that? How about you just stay in Oakland until the new stadium is completed instead of looking for places to play other than Las Vegas? Because apparently Alliance Stadium will not be ready in time. And it is named after the airport, Aligned, the airlines, excuse me, not airport, the airline company. So this is funny because Mark Davis is getting what's coming to him. Like I said, I'm serious about Mark Davis. Mark Davis is a liar and he is a fraud. I pay very close attention to this Raiders Las Vegas thing. I exposed the Raiders. I exposed the Raiders as soon as they were granted permission to move to Las Vegas. That this Las Vegas move was 20 years in the making, and that they had no intentions whatsoever of staying in Oakland. Oakland was just a temporary home for the Raiders until this Las Vegas thing could fall through. It was all about timing. And as I told you before, it was predicted way back in 1999 from the movie Romeo Must Die that the Raiders would leave Oakland again. How did they know that? I provided proof that Mark Davis inquired and possibly registered for a trademark Las Vegas Raiders way back in 1999. So I exposed the Raiders. Of course, people didn't want to believe me, even though I provided proof. But, of course, people are in denial. They don't want to hear the truth about nothing. No matter how much evidence you present to them, they don't want to hear the truth. So I'm happy because once again, I'm going to tell you guys something. And a lot of these remedial Oakland Raider fans, they don't want to hear the truth neither. There was a deal in place. Libby Schaff had a deal in place to build the Raiders a stadium. They had the finances, they had a start date, they had everything in place. Mark Davis said, "Oh, all I want is a new stadium. All I want is a new stadium. I want a cozy little stadium." They had a deal in place. They was going to build on the opposite side of the Coliseum, going towards Hagenberger Road, going towards the side of Hagenberger Road, the path you take to get to the airport. That'll take you straight to the Oakland airport because the Oakland Coliseum is literally like maybe a 10-minute drive from the airport. Easy access. I mean, you can catch BART directly from the airport, directly to the Coliseum. So everything was resolved. Transportation, everything was in place. So they had a stadium deal in place. Mark Davis didn't take it. After he asked for them to come with a stadium deal, it was provided for him, it was presented to him. He said no. Now, keep in mind, Mark Davis was inquiring about moving to San Antonio. You know, he went to San Antonio. San Antonio was interested in building the Raiders a stadium. And Jerry Jones said that he would put a halt to that immediately, because all you need for a team not to be able to locate is 9 votes against it. And he said he already had the 9 votes lined up. He felt like the Raiders was a threat to him. And I don't even think San Antonio is even close to Dallas. But he threatened to do it. And keep in mind, Jerry Jones is a liar too. Jerry Jones, like I said, is one of the main culprits who played a role in getting Colin Kaepernick blackballed out the league. You know, man, he one of the number one culprits in getting Colin Kaepernick blackballed out the league. So I will never support the Cowboys under any circumstances. And Jerry Jones told a bold-faced lie and said, I want the Raiders to stay in Oakland. The Raiders belong in Oakland. That's where they need to stay. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that the Raiders stay in Oakland. You know, this is what he said when he thought that the Raiders may possibly be moving to San Antonio. But then guess what? When they took a vote of the 32 owners on whether the Raiders could move to Las Vegas, relocate, because here's how it works. It doesn't have to be unanimous, but you need like a certain percentage. If 9 people say no, then you can't move. So if 9 team owners say no, we don't want you to move, you can't move. And there was only 3 owners that voted against the Raiders moving to Las Vegas. And one of them wasn't Jerry Jones. He voted for them to be able to relocate to Las Vegas. Jerry Jones is a liar. So now I think it's funny that Mark Davis may actually be invading his so-called territory due to this outbreak, this pandemic. So I think this is poetic justice, because like I said, Mark Davis is a fucking liar. And it's funny, I done went to Las Vegas and he has showed up at fights, and Mark Davis, I can't seem to catch him because he gets out of there real quick, refuses to do interviews, or he runs out of there. So I'll just find this hilarious that the Raiders may end up playing in Texas. I really hope they end up playing in San Antonio. That would be just hilarious. But anyway, this is your boy Town Biz. I'm out.